result over the weekend. What have you sort of set out to accomplish this week, and how have things gone in training?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, making sure that we acknowledge with the group where we want to be, and why, most importantly, why the performance was unacceptable on the weekend. When you look at the response in training this week, it's been fantastic. Probably been the best week of training we've had in quite a long time, and that's the response that you're looking for when you have a performance like that. You know, we spoke a ton about responsibility, the responsibility that we have being at a club like this, with the fans that we have, with the community that we represent. I think all those things become really important. I think I really wanted to emphasize and make sure our players understand this weekend that it's bigger than us, and we talked a lot about that. And I want to make sure that, most importantly, that we respond on Saturday and try to make sure that we put in a good performance that puts us in a good position going into the final week of the season and obviously playoffs.
Did the film, when you went back and watched the game, did it back up how you felt on Saturday, or did you learn anything new about that game?
No, it backed up exactly what we spoke about after the game. And, I think it does open the players' eyes when they see it that way in a video review with the messaging that comes from me. Again, I think I used the word to you guys. I thought it was disgraceful on the weekend. That's the reality. And it's not representative of us as a club, of us as a team, and that's the most frustrating thing. I've said this before. And I've said it to the players. You're going to lose games in football. That's going to happen, but it should never be under any circumstance due to a lack of desire or will or fight or heart, and that's what I felt we didn't have on the weekend, and that is what we addressed.
How open is the competition as a result of that? I mean, are you anticipating big, sweeping changes to your lineup, or is it, an everyday see how things go?
It's pretty open after a performance like that. Some of the things are dictated by legs and body and health. Obviously, training plays a huge role in it. But yeah, the decision on the lineup hasn't even been made yet up to this point. I have a pretty good idea. But when a team puts a performance together like that, they leave it open for changes to be made, for sure.
Were there changes even to the training, like maybe more intense because of those situations? I guess, how did you even get in the training field?
No question. Like I said, this week, it's the truth. Probably been the best training week that we've had up to this point in quite a long time. I can't remember where it was that competitive and looked the way that it did on Tuesday, which is ultimately the response that you want. The energy certainly changed, the tackles, the bite, that certainly changed. And, when you say the things that you say up there in the video room, you hope that you're getting a response. And we've certainly had that up to this point, but I'll say the same thing to you that I said to them. It needs to be on the weekend as well. It cannot just be on Tuesday and on Wednesday and on Thursday. It needs to be on Saturday as well. So that's something that is really, really important for the weekend.
I guess that's on Saturday's matchup with Hartford, and I guess what are you looking at?
Yeah, they're a better team than their record says, at least when I watched the video. Obviously, some things haven't been going so well for them as of late either. But I think they have good pieces. I think they're really dangerous in transition. They played a game last night against RGV, so we obviously watched that, give us a little bit more information for the weekend. But honestly, the game on Saturday is about us. If we show up and perform at our highest level with the right intensity, then we'll put ourselves in a position to get a result. If we don't have that, then you'll see what you saw on Saturday against New Mexico. And again, I talk about it all the time. We control that. We have complete control over that phase of the game. And for me, especially being here, it's the bare minimum. And I talk a lot to the group guys about not taking for granted where you're at. And it starts with me, and it should trickle down to everybody in that room that this is a special place to be. And mentality and fight and desire and heart, things that represent this club, this community, that's a non-negotiable. And when we don't have that, I have a real problem with it. I have a real problem with it, and the players know that. But this week has been a good response, no question. And I want to make sure that we show that on Saturday, because that'll give us the best chance to do something special this year for sure.
First off, one of the more disturbing comments to me you made after the match was related to players' responsiveness in the venue in which they're playing, and guys just not being up for it in different situations, like playing away from home.
Yep.
I'm sure they've been ongoing conversations with the players. Not the first time you've noticed those things. I guess kind of what's the dialogue at with these guys at this point? Are you having like these like kind of come to Jesus meetings about this?
Yeah, no question. Our road record for the most part this year, you guys would know better than me, I think, but has been okay. It's when there's wind, when it's a baseball field, all these things are excuses. All these things, they're just excuses. We had to do the same thing last year, and the record was a hell of a lot better, you know? So for me, it's when you walk into an environment like that, regardless of what it is, going, I'm here and I'm going to win the game, and I'm going to leave everything on the field. And everything that I'm saying to you guys, I say to them in that room. So I have no problem saying it. It's the bite, it is the mentality, it is the fight of the group. And this club, since its inception, has always had it. And I have a real problem when we've gone into some of these environments with overhearing the excuses, hearing it after the game, because that's all that they are. And a team that wants to win a championship, you can't have them. You shouldn't even have the dialogue at all, because both teams have to play on it. Both teams have to play with wind. Both teams have to play on a baseball field. So I've told the players we're not going to hear it anymore. No excuses, because both teams have to deal with it.
Now, I guess how have some of your veteran leaders, your Paulos, Niles, Tozias, how have they kind of aided you in kind of this like late push and trying to get this mentality right?
Yeah, they're a key component. When I look at the importance that they have on the group, it's massive. And they've had long careers where there's been ups and there's been downs, but they know the expectation. They know what it takes to win a championship. And when you look at difficult moments that you're in as a group, your leadership group becomes really, really important in that. And so we've had a lot of individual discussions, obviously collective discussions as well. But they've played an important role in the conversations that we need to move forward in a positive direction.
And last question I was going to ask about both Niall and Cam. I noticed they were both back. I think I even saw like Matiti. So in terms of fitness, are they theoretically maybe potentially in the mix for this weekend, or are they going to need a little bit of time to get back up to speed?
They're all in different, I would say, phases of physically where they're at. They certainly all won't be involved on the weekend, but there's potential that one, maybe two, will be.
Okay. That's all I got.
Of those three. Good. All right. Thanks guys.
Appreciate it.